I go, here I go. Yeah, here I go, here I go.
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of The Take with your host, Jackson Burleson, of course. And in today's episode, we had him on for game one. After that, we talked about that whole game. We got to bring back Ethan Britton Watts, former Indiana All Star, 5 years of college basketball, 5 years, played at Boston University
Six,
and Ball
six,
State. Oh my gosh, I literally meant to get that right. That's my
six.
bad.
Yeah,
Six.
nah, you good.
You played five though, right?
Yeah, I played five, but I was,
That's
yeah,
where my mind goes. Yeah,
nah,
because
yeah,
I was like, I knew like going into this episode, I'm like, yeah, I knew he said six, but I didn't. He
yeah,
didn't
no,
like
I
try to get
played
on me to
five,
correct
so
it.
that's a fact.
But you're also a Pacers fan, and for people who tuned in for the Game One
Yes.
podcast, that very different emotions right now. I as a fan,
Yeah,
I just hate the way that this NBA Finals ended. It was Game Seven. It was set up for a magical game, magical ending to the season. It is like the most watched NBA Finals since 2019. I don't know if you knew that.
yeah,
16.4 million
didn't
people
know that.
tuned in. Crazy. Didn't even know
Yeah,
that. But
no, I mean,
I'll just let you have the floor because I'm not a fan of any of these teams. So,
no, like, I
what's your
mean,
take on what happened last night?
if game four was the game that I felt like whoever won that game was gonna win the series. They obviously took back momentum, and then it was just gonna be an uphill battle from there.
Right.
And then obviously Tyrese getting hurt like didn't help it, but they I they I give the Pacers a lot of credit. Like even being a fan, being here, I mean from here, like I thought it was gonna be 4-1, 4-2 Thunder. Like I didn't even think it was gonna go to seven. So just for it to go to seven just says a lot about Rick Carlisle. I mean the job he did, and then obviously like the guys we have. We had a very well-rounded team. And they play well together. Too bad we're not gonna be to keep this team together. But I mean, it
Yeah.
was it was a fun series to watch. It's just it sucks, bro.
It's just
Because
so
it
neck and
like
neck
for a
too.
Pacers fan, it's like we're not gonna. Who knows the next time we're gonna, you know, see
Yeah,
the
that's what
final.
I'm thinking. It's like,
Then at that, like the two greatest, I mean, the two best words in sports, Game Seven. So like, it'll be a while before that happens for us again. So that's
uh,
sad though.
I just needed to get the Pacers fan the floor first because
Yeah, yeah,
I just can't sit here and talk about this without having you talk about it first because I just I don't know where to start. And I'll start from this. First of all, Tyrese Allen, before he got hurt, dude was going to drop 40.
yeah.
I'm guaranteeing you he would have had 40. We're never going to know, of course, but in 7 minutes, he
Hey,
had 9 points. He was
40.
he was cooking, man. And
Yeah.
right when it happened, I knew. I mean, I've seen
Nah,
enough
it's
Achilles injuries in my life,
right,
and I knew
right.
right away, just the way he was reacting. That,
Mhm.
and then like everyone was saying, the risk. I talked about the risk in Game Six, like he had a calf strain. That could
Well,
potentially be an
KD
issue,
had a
but
calf strain before he, tore his
right.
Achilles. And
We
then
all saw what
just
happened with that too. Like,
right. No, it like the thing I thought about right away was like they all have that same reaction. Like they all look back like they've like someone stepped on their foot or they were pushed. Like even he did it before he fell down. And I saw that and I was like, it's over with.
it
But
just happened so
even then, like
fast.
I wasn't. We could have still won the game. Like I wasn't too worried about us losing the game by 20 or whatever, or the game getting out of hand at that point. Because TJ has been. Can we just
That's the
talk about
thing.
TJ? I mean, for a
That's the
second,
thing. I
just
knew
talk about
he
TJ,
wasn't. I knew you guys weren't going to win this game when
bro.
TJ was going to have to will you guys to victory. I mean, it could have happened, but I was like, when you're
Bro,
at a
game
point,
seven, you that's a fair assessment, but game seven, anything can happen. So you could say that game two, three, like okay, it's not gonna will you to a victory, cool, it's TJ McConnell. But game seven, bro, the run he was on, I mean, and just how hard he plays, like it's not like he needs a bunch of shots to. Like, he's just gonna push the ball, get 2 feet in the paint right away. and pick up 94 feet. And the
Yeah.
ball lands in his hands, and then he makes plays. Like it's not his game isn't calculated. Like that. So with
No.
his game, anything can happen. So I was in full belief, like, all right, TJ gonna come in with Nimhar at the two, we'll be straight. But
I mean, he was cooking but the thing I was looking at
third
was
quarter,
like,
he always gets going. So
I was
he
like,
cooks,
dude,
but then
but
he
then
takes
it went
one
to
shot in the fourth
fourth and it
quarter.
was
Yeah,
like no one was scoring. Like
right.
they went from, I think it was like 8:25 in the third
Uh,
quarter. No other Pacers scored up to that point for like a long period of time. And I'm like, all right, somebody else got to step up. I was looking at Pascal Siakam. I'm like, hey, like this is your moment to show that you are the
bro,
number
we
one
had him
option on
bringing
this
up the
team.
ball. Like, yeah, I saw him bringing up the ball. Like, granted, it was a set, but it's just like, why is he bringing up the ball? This is exactly what I was saying we didn't want him doing game after game one.
But what you said after game one kept happening the entire series. Like
Yeah.
I even kept like reiterating it. Like just get him the ball down low. Do not let him get the ball on the perimeter because if he's got a guard on him, if he's got a smaller guy on him, he's gonna get the ball ripped from him every single time. And it happened a lot. And I was waiting all
Yeah,
game
or to just
long.
make his shot tougher because
I
he's
was
gonna
waiting
shoot
all
over.
game long for him to take over, and he just
Right.
never did. And I was genuinely shocked by that.
It's I think that plays. I mean, shout out to Chet, right? Like he switched the whole game and really defended the paint. Like he had probably like what 5 blocks, 4 or 5
Yeah,
blocks.
5 blocks, which
Yeah.
is the most in a game
So,
7 in NBA
nah, yeah.
history.
Like bro,
That dude is an elite defensive player.
didn't
Like,
even know that. I knew he had 5 blocks. Didn't even know he made history. Like that first half, I'm like, bro, they're living with him switching, and then it's a tough like trying to finish over him because he
it's
just guards guys like
impossible.
this. He
It's
just has a hand
impossible.
up and he just moves his feet with a hand up. So it's like anytime you look at the rim, you see a hand too. And it's tough, bro. It's
I
tough.
mean, it's
They
literally impossible to
not
shoot
there.
over that man.
Yeah,
It's so hard. But like for me
I
with
mean,
this
Wimby.
NBA Finals, I'm not gonna think, oh, the Thunder won. Because to me, it doesn't even feel like, I mean, the Thunder won, don't get me wrong. They were the best team in the NBA all season, but it's just like it doesn't feel like they really won though. Like it just kind of feels like there's no way that the Thunder it's like I don't know. It's like I got mixed feelings about this finals because I feel like what I'm gonna remember is not them winning. I feel like I'm always gonna remember, yep, Halliburton got hurt. That's why the Thunder won. Like that's my consensus conclusion right there on
Look,
this finals.
I love that take. Keep going with it. As an Indiana fan, I'm cool with it. But as a realist, bro, I didn't think they were gonna win this series anyways. So like I was hurt just because we were right there, like one game from the city. I wasn't going downtown last night anyways because it would have been too crazy. But just like the parade and everything, like we don't get that type of stuff around here. So I was excited and sad for that, but I didn't think they were gonna win. So it's not like I was in tears, bro. So
But you guys
yeah,
are always like the team that's like, you're so close. You're
yeah.
so
Like,
close.
bro. Next year we'll sit around 3, 4, 5 maybe and make a run into a team. I mean, who knows what New York's gonna do? They can't get KD anymore, so New York fans are delusional, bro. Like they're delusional. I have
That's LA
one of
Lakers
my good
and New
friends is a
York
New York
Knicks.
fan, and he like we have a long time group chat, all of our coaches and players from high school, and this guy, I mean, they're it, the Pacers are in the finals, and he's texting throughout the week, throughout the finals about Jalen Brunson. I kid you not. I'm like, bro, why are we still talking about Jalen Brunson?
Didn't he go
And
home to the
he
Pacers a couple
every
weeks ago? Is that what happened? Didn't Jalen Brunson go home
yeah,
to the Indiana Pacers? Is that what happened?
it again, bro. Hopefully,
I mean,
hopefully he's cool again.
what wasn't this supposed? I'm not trying to go into a whole Knicks thing here, but like I
And
just gotta
like,
say
nah, he
something. Like, wasn't this supposed to be, the Knicks year? Like, wasn't this supposed to be, they beat the Celtics?
every year's the next year.
Pacers are easy. Like, that's what I kept hearing. I'm just saying, but I knew deep down that the Knicks weren't going to do anything. You know why? Because the Knicks are the Knicks. They're a cursed franchise. They're not gonna win. That's just how it works. If you're not
Hey,
Walt Frazier and he's not on the Knicks, it's not gonna happen. And when did that
75,
happen? 1970? I mean,
73, something like that. 71, I don't know. Stephen A says it all the time. Like he was like 6, he says when they last time they were good.
Yeah,
Um,
no, but
yeah, bro. It was just like, why are we talking about the Knicks, man? Like, it's good. It's great basketball being displayed right now, and you texting us about Jalen Brunson. Um, but I I hurt for Tyrese also because like he won't get to like prove that superstar um status.
Richard
And
Jefferson's calling him a superstar all game long in the commentary. I'm just
yeah,
saying, if a guy's calling you that, you
but
have to have that label.
we'll have to see what his peers say. Cause that I mean, that means the most to you anyways. And they always talk about like in the league, like forget what the media says. Like what our peers think about us is, means the most valuable. So we'll have to see, but people are definitely not even think he's a superstar. I mean, they're gonna. Well, that's the thing. Like we're gonna have to see.
I
I mean,
mean,
is
I
he?
think the conversation is going to close for a while because I mean he's out for next season. I mean
Yeah,
he's not going to play, which stinks. But to me, I feel like yes, Indiana had a great season. I feel like that's like what's being talked about, but like
right.
what SGA has done this year, I mean, cannot go unnoticed. I mean,
Just real quick before we tap into that, to all the media fans, I mean, to all the media outlets, all the media people who thought that Tyrese was faking his injury.
who
There
said
you go.
that?
Well, it was just a bunch of Indi Indiana outlets, news outlets in Indianapolis. He doesn't
Uh,
look that hurt, just
dog.
things like that,
Ew,
man.
do they watch the game? Did they
Now, yeah,
watch the game?
people get so caught up in I don't even want to say emotions. It's money tied into the game. Honestly, that's what it is. That you just
But people are
lose
so set on
sight of our
okay,
reality.
this
Like the
sickens
dude
me.
was limping. You
The,
know,
people
game
are
six, he was
so set on the NBA being rigged and like all this, and I just
right,
hate that conversation so much.
right,
It's like, dude, these players go. You know, you're a basketball player. Like you played at a
mm,
high level. Like it's like saying like, okay, the game you went out and practiced, you spent hours and hours in the gym just
mm,
trying to build up for that one moment, and you're telling me
mm,
it's rigged. I mean, if you're saying that, you just don't know basketball. It's plain and simple. Actually,
right,
I'll go as far as say you don't know sports because if you
right.
say that, you don't
And that's
know
coming
what
from a
the
guy
hard work is.
that will also admit that like it's it's probably weird that every time Scott Foster's a ref,
I get it, but
there is
maybe he's just a bad ref. Maybe I mean, can we not
right.
just say that? Like,
He
is
could
it
be a
okay to
bad
not
ref,
say that?
right? I don't think the league's rigged, but I do understand that conversation.
It's
Like
just dumb.
it is weird, but to say like we're not gonna talk too much about that
No,
because
it's like like why like this is not even a conversation worth
to say the league
entertaining.
is
It's so
rigged is though, yeah,
stupid.
that's a bit much. Like these these dudes, I mean, like you can see like their bodies and what they go through, and you know, yeah, bro. Like I played 32, 33 guarantee games or 31 guarantee games, whatever. These guys play 82 guarantee games, so it's like a whole different tax on your body.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then to
it
get all the
is.
way to the finals, that's like what, another 16 games.
I
So
also
he
saw this stat that said like since 2012, like NBA players are running 200 extra miles per season than they were in 2012. And
and
I saw
the
some
game
guy
is so
talking about
much
the
faster.
injuries. Yeah, that's why he said I think it was this guy from CBS Sports. He was talking about how like the Achilles injuries are happening a lot more often in basketball, and he thinks the extra miles that these guys are running are the reason. Like it's not the load management. Like it's they need to figure out some way how to balance these minutes a little bit better. Because like you got guys in the regular season playing 40 minutes. I mean, that just can't
I mean,
happen.
I don't. The analytics and stats on injuries are very valid, bro. But sometimes, like, unfortunate things happen. Like, you can't control injuries. You could write a whole history book on guys that's gotten injured in the time period, and the analytics behind it and the theories. And but at the end of the day, sometimes people just get hurt. Like, not to be extreme, but Kevin Ware, right? Like nobody
Yeah,
could predict that was gonna happen, or
no.
You know, there's no stats behind the guys that break their leg in half and march. Like, no, just stuff. Unfortunate things happen. That was unfortunate, and it cost us the game, and that sucks because it's gonna probably cost us a season. And
Well, it's probably going to cost you the next season too.
it, I was thinking, bro,
It
it really
will.
sucks because Chris Paul. I don't know if he signed. He signed with the Mavericks, right?
Chris Paul?
Or yeah,
I
I
don't
seen
know
some.
actually. Did
I seen
he?
something that they were trying to get him to be like replacement for Kyrie until Kyrie gets healthy. We could have
Really?
got him, and we can't. We can still get him if I don't know if that's the direction the Pacers are going in.
Oh,
Two small
yeah, you're right.
guards.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So
Wow, I honestly that's been swept under the rug because I have not seen that.
yeah. Right. I don't know
Wow.
how legit it is, but Chris Paul. I mean, he can help the Pacers, but TJ'd have to go. I don't know if they want to.
Well, isn't he under contract still? So they would have to trade him, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm
So,
saying. They.
and the only guy that's a free agent on the Pacers that's like significant is Miles Turner, which I think everyone's wondering, do you think Pacers are going to re-sign him?
I'm not a huge fan of Miles Turner, so I'm gonna say get what we can for him right now, given that he just got out of the finals. He's probably his most valuable point that we can get something good out of it back. So that's my take on it, bro. I'm not even really a big Miles Turner fan. I think he played well this season. I don't think we get there without him, but I think we could. I think it's time for a different look.
Yeah, I think you guys can
These
maybe
teams
get
are
like a
playing
rookie.
small. Yeah, right, right. Get a rookie.
And there's no point in going in the second apron for Miles Turner. Like
Mm-mm.
I just don't think that's worth it in my
No.
opinion. Because I think he's like, I think this is kind of like because we saw what he was doing. Like he's so attached to the perimeter right now, and I don't know why, but that has been
Well,
his game.
that's the game right now. So it's okay to be attached to the perimeter, but situationally, right? Like against the Chet home, like go to the paint, like
You
be more
said it.
physical
You
than him.
literally called it. Like
Like that. That's all I'm asking. Shoot threes when you're supposed to shoot threes. Like against Cat, okay, yeah. Cat wants to bang down low and also shoot a bunch of threes. So for you, put him in ball screen actions, pop a bunch because he's a big threat. Like he's a big part of the offense, right? So making him tired, running all over the place, he got to pop then roll. Like just mix it up is my thing. Like
yeah,
popping and being able to shoot the ball and wanting to shoot threes is the game right now. So
yeah.
he has to do that. He can't switch his whole game to being, inside the paint. And it wouldn't even work for him because he's just not physical enough for that. And that's my whole problem with it. Just like, bro, be more physical.
But you would think when he has that kind of build, but
But that's all
um,
Pacer bigs, right? We have good quality bigs, but they just don't like Roy Hibbert.
yeah, he comes to mind.
Like it first person that comes to
He
mind,
comes to
Roy
mind
Hibbert.
right away. Right away.
Like becomes an all-star, stops producing, gets that all-star check, all-star money, stops producing. We give him a big check. Back then was big.
Well, he produced. It was just only against one team.
Right.
That was the thing with him. But I don't know if you guys will resign Miles Turner or not though. Like I
I'm
feel like that's a
indifferent.
kind of a 50-50
I know what it looks like with
conversation.
Miles Turner. Like before we were this good, now that we're this good, like we could make another run with him. So I'm indifferent about it, bro. But if we can get something really good for him, do it. Cause
Sign and trade.
yeah,
I think that could be
why
the
not?
best option,
Why not?
possibly. Who would you guys trade him with though? Like just I don't even know. Like in my opinion, I honestly haven't really thought that one through a lot, but maybe, maybe, maybe Portland since they have Aiton. I don't know how you feel about DeAndre Ayton, but that could make sense,
He's soft
possibly.
too. That's trading the same player. Just one shoots better. Might as well keep Miles Turner.
But if you got one that shoots better and you're going to play him the way that Miles Turner's been playing, I mean, it could work better.
But why? I mean, he's gonna spread the floor. We would be shrinking our offense like of spacing with DeAndre Ayton out there. Miles Turner when in doubt is gonna spread the floor way better than DeAndre Ayton. And if we're going soft for soft, pause. But why would you? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Keep Miles Turner.
Or do you do something? Or do the Lakers get interested and they try to chip in and get him because they need a big? I mean,
But they're gonna
they
give
need
us. We
somebody.
don't. We can't. I mean, we got Thomas Bryant. I don't. He's like a four though, bro. He's shooting the three a lot too. Um, we got to get a big back. Just I don't know who. That's like maybe somebody young, maybe draft pick. Um, because next year we're tanking anyways. Because Tyrese is hurt, so like we're focused on. Yeah, bro, we're
So
not worried about next year.
you're just sold on the tank.
Yeah, yeah.
Then.
Why would we, bro? Come on.
You know the Pacers are not an organization that tanks. They don't take that
We're
word
not gonna
lightly.
tank, but I'm saying as a fan, I'm not concerned about us doing nothing. Like, I always got two dogs in the fight, and that, like the Knicks fan I was talking about, that's what he hates about me because I'm a Celtics and a Pacers fan. I can't help it, bro. I went to Boston, so. So I'm, next year, my two teams, I get to just watch basketball without any dogs in the fight.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I
JT
feel
hurt,
you.
Tyrese is hurt. It's next year will be a chill year for me. I don't no emotion, not emotionally tied to the NBA next year. Cause
Goodness. I think Achilles injuries, Tatum, Lillard, Halliburton. I feel like there's another guy, but I feel like that might be the three.
Dante Murray tore his.
Oh yeah, Jonte Murray. I feel like I'm missing another guy. I can't remember. There's been a lot of those, like with big
Yeah,
time stars this year. Been kind of wild to
yeah.
see it, but um, I know I know how Pacers fans are feeling. I was there. I was like, man, that sucks.
But like the thing is, bro, we'll probably end up being a 6 seed or
which is
making
nuts.
make it in the playoffs through the play-in.
Well, Nimhard's
Like
taking a step up. His points per game are going up. That's
100%. Like we're in the East, so like we're always finding the East. When in doubt, we win 2 games on the road against the
and the
Cavs.
East is so wide open next year too.
Right.
Like
When in
who is
doubt, we
even the
can win
favorite? No, I
two
don't even
games on the
know.
road in New York. So like it's not. I'm not really worried,
Who's the
bro.
favorite in the East? The Knicks?
It depends on what Giannis does.
I don't feel like Giannis is gonna leave. I feel like if he's gonna leave, he would have left by now.
Who knows, bro? Giannis is a quiet guy, man. You gotta watch them quiet ones. He
But he's also loyal.
loyal, yeah, but everybody's loyal to an extent until they get that bag thrown at them with a with some guys that they feel like they can win with.
But he's got the
Everybody's loyal.
bag though. Like he's good. He's got the
Yeah, but
championship.
the part about the guys that he can win with,
Yeah, it's a problem.
that part.
But they got to draft better. They haven't had success in the draft. That's kind of been their issue. But Lillard getting hurt doesn't really help. I don't know what Giannis will do. I don't think he's coming to Miami because Miami seems to be in the conversation for every star. We're going to talk about that later when we get into Kevin Durant. But let's talk about the Thunder. They actually won this thing. I feel like
Right,
we haven't talked about the Thunder at
right,
all.
right, right.
And I
Pacers
think
fans, man, my bad.
Shea, no, we had to because I feel like the
Yeah,
storyline is not the Thunder winning, it's the Pacers losing, like which
right.
is crazy for a team, both small markets. But then
Yeah.
you say, okay, let's look at both of these teams.
Hmm.
And the Thunder have been doing is just they've been the best team in
Right.
the NBA all year
Yeah,
long.
all
They were the
season,
favorites. Everyone knew they were going
all
to
season.
win. But in this fashion, I don't think anybody knew. But what Shea has been doing, I'm
In
gonna
an
I'm gonna read.
offensive league, bro, that they showed that you can be just as good offensively as you are defensively. Um,
And the stats he
win
put
a
up
championship.
this year is
Yeah.
just crazy.
No, he.
I got to read these to you. I don't know if you know these, but he's the second
Mhm.
player with 650 points, 100 rebounds, 150 assists in a postseason. Last guy to do that, 2018 LeBron. He's one of 5 players with 20 points, 10 assists, and an NBA Finals Game 7. Jerry West, Walt Frazier, James Worthy joins that club. And he's the fourth player in NBA history to win Finals MVP, scoring champ,
Mhm.
regular season MVP in the same season, and an NBA championship.
Jordan did that.
Jordan, Shaq, Kareem.
Yep,
Only three guys to do it besides him.
exactly.
What does this do for Shea when it comes to his tier in the league?
It. I mean, he put the league on notice. Like he let everybody in the West know you got to come through me. Um, and then he honestly put pressure on the league. Like, what are we gonna do about the officiating? What are we gonna do about the foul baiting? I'm not with all the foul merchant stuff. Like, he's just a really good basketball player who plays with angles and knows how to create contact. But a lot of times he does put the refs in a position to make a call or call offensive foul or make a no call. And it's like, what are we gonna do about the rules? Because that's all he's doing. He's just playing with the rules of the game. And
Yeah.
you got to tip your hat off to him because that's smart. Like, D Wade did it. Um, he's not the first guy to do it. Like D Wade was a foul baiter, like foul merchant, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call. Like
Right.
he's not the
Pump
first guy.
fake master.
Yeah,
And
he's
he'd
not the
lean
first
into
guy.
you. Like that's how it was for
He's just
him.
perfected it in this like modern, uh, age that the game's in right now.
Does this remind you of MVP Harden?
Whew, I don't know about that, bro. Harden is average 50 for 10 games. Like, all right, that's just
But the foul baiting part.
okay. Yeah, a little bit. But that, I mean, when you say bro, like prime James Harden, MVP Harden, the first thing I think about is that 45.8 point per game run he went on. Like for a 10-game stretch. It was the craziest thing I'd ever like nobody. And granted he was getting to the free throw line 10, 12 times a game.
That's where I
But
bring
that's
that
just
up.
12 points, bro. That's just 12 points. That's just 13 points. Like, where the other 30 coming from?
Yeah.
That's somebody like, come on, that some people don't get the 30 in their whole career. Where the other 30 coming from?
That's
You
the
get to
thing
the
I
line
think the
20
hate.
sometimes a game, that's one thing. But he was only getting to the line at that time 11, 12 times a game. And that's a lot. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's as a defender, you feel like you can't touch him. But where's the other 30 points being accounted for?
But he led the okay, but Shea and Harden have one thing in common. They
They led the
both
league in
led the
free throws.
league in free
Yeah,
throws.
facts. Yeah, I
Like,
mean, they just know how to get to the line, bro. James Harden mastered. He he played with the rules. They changed the rules, you know? Now
but
they've
why
got to
is
change them
making free
again.
throws a bad thing? Like, why is all of a sudden making free throws a bad thing? Like, getting to the line is another thing, but
Yeah,
making them
right.
is something else. Like, you
I
got to
think
hit
it's just the
those.
way it's the way he gets to the line. Like nobody, if he got to the line like a normal person, like nobody would know. It's like he's just so good, bro. Like I say that, but like then again, like I understand like the way the game slows down in his head. Like every bad movement, false step you take, he's taking advantage of it, and then it just puts you in a position to foul him, and then it's like he's gonna sell it, and then is the ref gonna call it or not? Like it's basketball. He just has
But they're
perfected
gonna
it.
call it.
He's the
Like
MVP.
they've
When have
been
they not made calls for the MVP? That's
that's
my
a golden
biggest
whistle.
argument.
That's a golden whistle.
Right. When have they not had a golden whistle for the MVP, best player in the league? When have they not? It's
Yeah,
just
you're
weird
right.
that in a league with LeBron, KD, Steph, like all these guys who waiting on retiring in a couple years, he's the best player in the league right now. But it's just what it is. Like when is the best player in the league not got the whistle? Not got the golden like when? He's did
Yeah, no.
he's
I,
just really, really good at it. And right now it's an offensive league and defensive guys are trying to figure out a way to, get the points per game back down in the hundreds instead of the 120s. And that's not entertaining, bro. We're not going back to that. Like the league has made a bunch of money and will continue to make a bunch of money with the points and 110s, 120s, 130s. And that's comes along with guys getting to the line 12, 15 times a game. And when you perfect it like Shea has, you gotta tip your hat off to him, bro.
But I think
That's
what's
not the reason why the
interesting,
Thunder won the finals. And I know people are gonna say that. That's not
yeah.
the reason why they won 68 games. Like that's not the reason. He's just really good at basketball. And he's the best player in the league. And one of my old teammates, Jalen Anderson, has been saying it for 4 years. I met him in 2023. Shea had been his favorite player since he got in the league. And I watched Shea a bunch in college at Kentucky, but that's been his favorite player. He's been saying it, bro. So it's like I text him today. Yesterday. Like you've been saying it. Like I got nothing left to say.
So he's better than Jokic.
Yes. Right now. He's better than Jokic. How can you say he's not?
It's just
They beat him.
it's a tough debate to have, but I'll
They
say
beat him,
Shea
bro.
I'll say Shea's better for now. For now.
Until next year. Jokic, and
But that's the thing about the best player in
that's
the league.
comparing
It
apples and
changes
oranges.
every single year. Whoever wins the chip and whoever's the best player,
Man, the best
that's
player in the
usually
league
how it
changes
goes.
month by month with like the way
Yeah.
media is now. Like
Yeah.
Stephen A was just saying that Giannis is gonna be an underachiever. Like what?
Which is insane.
It's crazy. Like
How many
Jay Williams said it
bones?
was asinine.
How many bones do I need
Um,
to pick with Stephen A?
like
Seriously, like some
no,
of the stuff that comes out of his mouth, I'm just like, what are you talking about, dude? How
talk
are
about a
you an
guy that's
underachiever? If you win an NBA championship, you won a championship. Do you know how many
talk about a
guys in
guy
the
that's
world have done that? Like,
worldwide known, top 5 in the league, top 6, 7, however. And now he's all of a sudden an underachiever because
how? Just because he
he
wins
only
one
has
title?
right. So that's
Does that
what
make
we
Jerry
talking
West
about,
an
bro.
underachiever?
We're gonna be talking about Shea if he don't win another championship, if he's an underachiever in a couple of years. Like that's just the way it is. But right now he is the best player in the league. I'm not hearing none of the Jokic comment. Like I'm
But
not
winning
hearing
a
it. He,
championship is never an underachievement. Like, even
right.
if you get one, like, I mean,
It's
like,
very hard to do.
are we going to
Very
sit
hard.
here and say Jerry West is an underachiever because he hasn't won a lot? I'm just saying we're talking about the logo now. Like, this is the conversation that
But
needs to stop because we cannot keep sitting here and saying, okay, this guy, he only has one ring. He underachieved, or putting asterisks on all these rings. A
right.
ring's a ring. I don't care when it happened, how it happened.
Right.
Winning an NBA championship is hard.
We got the
Only
guys
one
feeling like that
team.
too, right? Alex Caruso was like, "Yo, I finally got a real one."
What does
It's
that
like,
mean?
dang,
What do you
bro.
mean a real one?
Like I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I joked about that in 2022, but it was, you know, time went on and it was like, yo,
It's a
you hear how
real
the
championship.
you hear how the players talk about it and how hard it was to be in the bubble, and I remember playing in front of no fans. Like that was hard, bro. These guys got families and a whole
Yeah.
bunch of stuff goes into it. So you hear how the guys talk about it, it's like, all right, that's valid. That's a valid championship.
I just
What I'm gonna say if LeBron James is talking about how hard it was. Now
what do
people
you
don't want to hear how hard it was because they throw, the fact that they got millions on top of it, and like I get all of that. But at the end of the day, basketball was very different for them, and they had to adapt to a situation that they were uncomfortable in.
I wanted to ask you
You won
this.
a championship.
I wanted to ask you this. I wasn't going to bring this up, but I actually haven't talked about this
Mhm.
yet on the pod. The ring culture comment by
Mhm.
LeBron James. What do you think about that?
He's right, but he can't make comments like that because you can't be LeBron James making comments like that. But you're right. You gotta like text that to somebody else, and then somebody in your camp say that, so we can just be like, yo, we know who that came from, but it didn't come out of LeBron. LeBron James just said. Um, but he's right, bro. Like it's it's the pressure the media puts on you. Like when you come in the league, you feel like you have to win a championship or else you're not great, no matter what you do. So then guys team hop. And then you get punished for team hopping. So it's like, what do you do? Um, you win championships. I mean, that's why I play basketball. That's why I'm
You
sure.
play to win.
Right.
You play to win. You don't play
Any
to lose. No one plays to lose.
anybody who plays sports, and who cares about sports. I'm not gonna say anybody who plays about anybody who cares about sports, they play to win. So it's just we talk. I mean, like somebody was saying, I forget who, but on First Take, somebody was saying, like they made a comment about how Scottie Pippen is like 31st all time, top 75, and he's got what six rings, and
Yeah.
you got guys that don't have any rings that are in front of him. So like what are we talking about? Like how do we? What's the?
I think it's hard to.
It changes every year, right? How we judge these players and who's good, who's not good, who's an underachiever,
I think
right?
the
Like,
ring culture thing kind of starts with this. Is like I'm guilty of this
mhm,
at times. Like with the Jordan thing, with his 6 rings, you
mhm.
know, he's came out and said, "Look, just because I have 6 rings, does that make Bill Russell better than me, or I'm better than Bill Russell, but he's got 11?" Like at the end of the day, LeBron said it's like a team. It's a team thing, which a ring is a team accomplishment.
Right.
I mean, he's kind of right if you
Yeah.
think about it. Like it's not an
Oh, he's 100%
MVP,
right.
it's not a finals MVP when those are two individual awards. Now I'm sure
Right.
people listening right now are probably a little bit mad at me because like, whoa, you've said all this stuff about Jordan in the past. But like if you really think about it, like if you go through all the champions in NBA history, like you take one player off that team may not win a title. Like, I mean, it just really varies because if you're going to say, like, people always diminish Kobe's 3 rings that he got with Shaq. Well, he had Shaq. Well, first of all, do you not remember when Shaq fouled out and he literally had to win a game for them? No one looks at those things. They just look
Bro,
at the
imagine how many
surface.
rings they would have won had they stayed together. But even Kobe knew, like, man, y'all gonna talk bad about me if I don't get this dude off my team and win by myself. Like, and that's just what it was. That was the friction. Like
But does
they,
Jordan doesn't win without Pippen.
right.
LeBron doesn't win without D Wade, without Chris Bosh. LeBron doesn't
Well,
win
I think
without Kyrie.
it's even more like what you're saying is even more valid in today's game because back then, and not to go too deep into this because I don't want to piss nobody off, but like Jordan was Jordan, bro, and the dudes he was playing against, not even compared to the role players of today's game or like the Robins of today's game. Like Scottie Pippen, there's way better Robins now than Scottie Pippen was back then. Mm, come on, bro.
Than Scottie Pippen. Better Robins than Scottie Pippen? Name
He
one
way
Robin better than Scottie
Kyrie,
Pippen.
Kyrie.
You think Kyrie's better than Pippen? Stop it. No.
What?
There's no way Kyrie's better than Pippen. No way. Are you looking at just all around player or are you talking what are you talking about here? Because
Man,
Pippen's a better defender.
I'm talking about okay, you gonna say defense. I'm talking about when you think just basketball. Like who you want to watch, who you gonna pay to see, who's more entertaining, who puts the ball in the basket better.
But that's a bit different
Kyrie Irving.
but that's a different conversation though. Like entertainment versus best player. I mean, we both know that's a different conversation.
Yeah, but that's basketball at the end of the day.
But come on, like that's a
We
different
talking about
conversation.
teammates and not having like guys that you take one guy for championship team's not gonna be a championship. Like, yeah, a lot of those guys are guys that are just there to entertain and like be like, okay, so that's a factor into it too, right?
But I don't know.
I
I
don't want to
wouldn't
get
go
too
as
deep into the
I
Kyrie Irving, Scottie Pippen thing,
but
but
I wouldn't
I
go
think
as far as to say that though. I
if
wouldn't
you
go as
throw
far as to say that.
accomplishments, okay, yeah, Scottie Pippen, but pure basketball, Kyrie Irving every time. I'm
What
gonna
is
put Kyrie Irving over a lot of guys.
what does pure
Like,
basketball mean though? Like what is that? What do you mean by that? Like it's that's very
oh,
generic.
the okay, what what can Scottie Pippen do that Kyrie Irving can't?
He's a way better defender.
That's the
He's
oh, take
he's a way
defense out
better
of it.
defender. He's better at driving to the basket.
Huh? No, wrong,
He's more athletic.
wrong.
That you don't think Scottie Pippen's more athletic than
Scottie
Kyrie Irving?
Pippen was 6'7", bro.
Okay, and that doesn't make. And so,
If
do
you
you
ask
think?
Scottie Pippen
So does that
to
make?
incorporate any type of layup package, just Kyrie Irving's most simplest layup package.
Okay, fine. That's a layup package.
I'm
Like
saying
that's
you talk
fine.
about that's athleticism. Being able to start from the right side and end up at the left side over 7 footers at 6'2", that's athletic. Driving to the basket? What
But
are we talking about?
that's more craftiness though.
Scottie Pippen was a better slasher. That's what he did well. He slashed and he defended well. And
And he
that
was
got him
also a
six
good
rings.
playmaker too. Like there's more boxes that Scottie Pippen checks than Kyrie as an all-around basketball player. It's just a fact.
Scottie Pippen had to make plays on the Bulls. Are we being serious?
I'm not saying all that,
Or was he the
but do we not
recipient?
remember
Or
that
was he the
Pippen?
recipient of plays being made?
But Pippen did not. Are we not going to
Pippen's
forget he
great.
made
I
a
don't even want
second
to go
round
there.
playoff
Pippen's
series
great.
against the Rockets? Took them. He could have. He literally took the Bulls without Jordan to 50 wins. Like we're not going to ignore. We're going to ignore that greatness.
Yeah,
Like I
bro.
get it. Kyrie's great, but he ain't as good as Scotty. He probably is a better
Man,
offensive
when the
player.
ball, bro,
Like when it talks about
when it,
ball handling and
when it comes
craftiness,
down
fine, I'll
to
give
it,
you
and you
that.
need that, when it comes down to it, and you need the game one, the ball was going to Jordan. When it comes down to it, and you need the game one, the ball was going to Kyrie Irving. Even with LeBron
That's
James on
fine.
the team.
That's fine.
Like,
That's fine.
what are we talking about, bro?
That's
You talking about
fine.
driving to the basket? You should have kept accomplishments as the forefront of your argument. Driving to
But
the basket, wrong.
but
Shooting,
accomplishments are just
wrong.
a part of it. That's just a part of
Shooting,
it.
wrong. Like, what are we talking about?
He's not a
What there?
better. I did not say Scottie Pippen is a better
I'm
shooter.
saying, what else are you gonna say after defense? There's not much you can say,
But we talk about
and that's
all
just because he's
around. You look at
all
multiple
around. If
components.
Kyrie Irving was 6'6", 6'7", I'm sure he'd be a
We're
better
not
defender
playing.
too.
We're not playing the what if.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, man.
All right.
I'm just saying.
We did
I'm
not
a it,
need to
like
dive into
more of the
that.
story. I'm gonna have that conversation talking about Kyrie with a bunch of guys because Kyrie's the most skilled, probably one, arguably the most skilled basketball player of all time.
Okay, we'll put a pin in this. Whoever's listening, please let me know which side you're on. We'll put a pin in this for the sake of everything else we got to talk about. But since we're moving on to some trade talks, we had a trade yesterday. Now, I think people were wondering. Now, I'm a Heat fan. Okay, am I upset that we didn't get Kevin Durant? Maybe a little bit because we did reject an offer, but
KD
I
seen what they was doing to Jimmy and was like, I ain't going over there, man.
we offered Jaime Jaquez and Nikola Jovic, and then some draft picks, some draft capital,
Mhm.
and the Suns were like, all right, but then they wanted another player. They wanted like Wiggins or Duncan Robinson to offset the salary cap, but then we were like, nope, we're not doing it. That's what I
Nope.
heard. I heard a report of that, but now he's a Houston
Mhm.
Rocket,
Yep.
and they traded Jalen Green, Dylan
Mhm.
Brooks, 5 second-round picks, which is a lot, and then the number 10 overall pick. Did the Rockets overpay for 36-year-old Kevin Durant?
That's a really good question. I don't think you're ever overpaying for a player of his caliber. They want to win right now. So if you wanted to build around him and win in the future, then that'd be one thing. But like they're trying to win right now. They asked Ime, like they weren't even big on him. They asked Ime, and Ime was like, "I want KD." So I mean, they got it done. And come on, it's KD. Are you ever really overpaying for KD?
I think,
Given like what he's done the last 5 years, right? Like,
but the draft capital though, like, I mean, you were second in the West without him.
yeah, but with the draft capital and draft and play, like even right, amen, right? Like he's really good, but they gotta wait on him to develop. And being around a guy like KD is gonna help his development even more. But KD, like he's only gotten better, bro. Like his stats are better than they were, 5, 6 years ago.
But
Like
he's
they
also older, and this is post Achilles.
But
I
if
know
his
this is a
stats are
while.
better, why does his age matter?
I
Age should only matter if his stats are deteriorating, bro. They're not. They're getting better. He's shooting better from three. He's shooting better from the field. He's 50, 40, 90. like how much can you say about that? He like so
I'm not knocking KD. I just think it's
right. No, no, no.
five
I'm
draft
talking
picks,
about like
six
this
draft
is
picks.
what people look at when you're talking about overpaying, underpaying, like stats, right? If we're talking like
I'm not
what
really looking at KD as a. I'm not really looking at that though. Like I feel like the
what do you
Suns
mean?
kind of fleeced them in a way because I
Mm,
feel like they got way too much. They got way too much back in return. Like and then they get Jalen Green in the trade, which I'm
right.
surprised that the Rockets even traded him.
Yeah.
Very surprised. But I know there was a lot of conversations about is he consistent enough? But that'll come with time. Like he's a young player. He hadn't what has he been in the league? Like 3, 4 years? I mean, he hasn't even been in the league that long. So like you've seen what he can do, and I'm
I
kind
think
of
it's tough
surprised
for him.
about
Like
that.
I don't think they should have made him the guy so fast. I think making him the guy put him in a position to like you have to perform
But is he
in
the
this
guy though?
moment.
I feel like Sengun's kind of the guy now, at
Well,
least on last
now,
year's
but
team.
I mean, if he wasn't the guy, then or I feel like they were pushing him. I don't even know if the guy was the
I
right
see
thing,
you
but
on
like,
that.
yeah,
They're
like
pushing him. Yeah,
they were pushing him
face of the
forward to like,
franchise type stuff.
yeah, we
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
make you the face of the franchise. And with that vision, you can't have a guy, averaging single digits in the playoffs. Um, well, in the series. So it
That was the issue with Jalen Green was the
tough.
inconsistency, going for 30 and then having like nine. He had
Right.
that in the Warrior series a couple times. But like I with the KD trade, like I think it makes I think this puts Houston in a position to where they can be a contender in the West. I think they're well
Absolutely.
coached. They have like not just other guys besides KD. They got Fred Van Vliet. I think
Mhm.
Jabari Smith. I think
Yes.
he's going to be able to develop, like you were talking about with guys developing with KD.
Right.
That's a guy right there that has, can have a similar impact on the game when he really hits his peak.
Right.
I feel like he is a good defender and his offensive game is starting to get there. We saw those flashes with him at Auburn. And then
Right.
Sengun, he's turned into an all-star level player. You keep
Maybe
Steven
Jokic.
Adams around. That's a big
Mhm.
piece to have.
Yeah.
I think they have some pieces to really make some noise, and they were second in the West. They've been
Hmm.
getting better. The year before that, they won 41 games.
Right.
They've been building this for a while.
And even though they let Dylan Brooks go, the defensive identity, they keep a portion of that with Ime. He's a defensive
Yeah.
coach, so they're
And
not
Amon
losing the
Thompson
defensive
too.
identity.
That's a guy I forgot to
Right.
mention as well.
Yeah,
He
he's
is
two-way.
phenomenal.
Exactly. Exactly.
That guy's
Exactly.
he's a star in the making. Like I mean, that
Yes.
guy's special, special
Nah.
talent.
Talk about athletic, bro. I don't. Yeah.
Stuff he was doing in the playoffs and all regular season, I'm just like,
Right.
what?
And then just like how much he can't like he doesn't. He was getting really, really, really upset when Steph scored. It's like, bro, it's Steph. You can't. But just like, he doesn't think Steph should score. Like in his mind, it's like Steph shouldn't get that shot off. And like that's to have that mentality, bro, is he gonna be special. Like you said, he gonna be special.
It's second to none. You don't see that in a young player like that that's hungry and can
Mm,
do things on both ends of the floor. Like he's dynamic offensively, he's
right.
dynamic defensively. Like I think that's a piece that I think makes this Rockets team
And he
dangerous
got a
because
shooting coach this summer, so next year he gonna come back
and the Rockets have
a
depth.
little bit better.
They have other young players and
Right.
they're gonna get guys in the draft, I'm sure of it. And who knows, maybe a free agent, sneaky veteran free agent can come in there.
Mm,
I mean, it's an enticing team. I mean, it really is. I
yeah.
think KD can definitely win a title, but I
I hope he
The
does.
West is still really good. It's still a good
Yeah.
conference.
Yeah, it's not they're just that puts them in championship contention. Like that's all it did. They weren't, and now they are. That doesn't mean they're gonna win, but now
Yeah,
they are. Now they could possibly win. Still got Bron, Luca, Jokic, at
yeah, you got Ant.
SGA, Ant, right? Like it's the West has always been loaded. So we'll just have to see. But to your original question, like I don't think it's overpaying. I don't think it's I don't think they gave up too much. I think when KD says he wants to be on your team, you give up whatever you have to. Like,
Yeah. And if you're in a position to
God,
get
bro,
KD, you're in win now.
I was praying he said Indiana. Knowing it just wasn't gonna come true. But I was praying he said Indiana.
I thought he was
We
going to go
would
to the
have,
Heat. I thought he
man,
was.
we would have given up.
Thought he was.
Send whoever KD thinks should be off the team, respectfully, and then we build around that. Keep Holly
I feel the same
and
way about the Heat, man.
and keep TJ. Shout out TJ. Keep Holly, TJ, and Nimhart and Siakam. Actually, we don't even really. They gonna want if just my fantasy.
I mean,
They
you could
would
have
take
thrown
Siakam.
Siakam on that trade with
Right,
KD.
like,
Yeah,
bro,
you're throwing him in there all day long.
absolutely. Like, just man, take the whole team.
I mean,
But
KD is
that's
basically a bigger and like 10 times better Siakam. I mean, that's
100,
we know
bro.
that.
KD's in no shake because he's a 10 times better than every player in the league except for like four guys. Like, it's
7-footer that can pull up from anywhere. I mean, you can't guard
people
him.
forget, bro, because he's such a troll and KD got people. He's KD got people thinking they can just talk to him however because he responds like a normal person on Twitter.
No.
Which is hilarious. Like bro, I love when KD responds on Twitter to people because he puts them in their place. But people forget, bro. Like this is Kevin Durant, man. Like what are we talking about? Like
Did you
all this
see the way he found
disrespect.
out too?
Yeah, live, bro.
Yeah, he was at the
Like
Fanatics
he don't even
Festival.
care too. Like he's such a hooper, bro. He's just like, all right, I get to go there and hoop. Like cool, I'm a 50, 40, 90 another season. We're gonna try and get to the finals. Like it just is what it is. Like bro, he's KD. He's always been like this. Like what? I hate that people try and question his leadership, and then his leadership goes into the type of is he great? Like, man, stop it, bro.
Can we not question it though? Like,
You can,
are we not
you can,
allowed to
you can
do that?
question his leadership, but that has nothing to do with his greatness. Zero.
I think a lot of the conversation with him goes back to the Golden State days. They hold a big grudge over him. They put that over his head, in my opinion. I think that's the biggest reason because that's one of the biggest reasons I don't like KD, like as much as I did before.
That was like a time for me when I was really getting into Steph's game. So like I loved it. I loved everything about it. I have not like I'll be honest, like I loved everything about that. Everything. Can't beat him, join him. Cool. I wouldn't do it, but if that's what you want to do, cool. I love basketball, bro. Like I that whole era, bro, of KD on the Warriors. Like I just
It's
honestly just
underappreciated. It's
bro, I just
underappreciated.
watched their I just watched their offensive highlights, just the way they moved the ball. Like it
It's the
taught me
greatest
so
team
much.
ever. It's the greatest team
Yes,
ever.
bro. It taught me so much
No
about the
one's
game of
beating that team.
basketball.
No one.
Nobody. And watching that team teaches you so much about the game of basketball, like how great players merge together, become one. They all individually still, show who they are, and
Yeah, they're all great.
yeah,
Yeah, two
I loved
MVPs on
everything
that
about
team.
them. And then Bron did it, and then the Celtics did it, so it's like, man, what do we? They got mad at Bron for doing it because Bron made it a reality TV show. That was the big thing behind that, right? Like he shouldn't have dragged it out as long as he did. It was disrespectful to the
What do you
people.
think about people saying like the super team era is over?
It's valid. You got two small market teams in the finals with no superstars except for one. One
Yeah,
team, we got one superstar. Like that
no
is
big
valid.
threes.
No
Like
big threes. No. We got a team that if we won it, who would you even give Finals MVP to? Right? Obviously Pascal probably, but you got TJ who could get it, Nimhard, Tyrese, Pascal. Like it's a bunch of guys who can, who would have been eligible for Finals MVP. So
but I
yeah,
like it because of the
that's good for
balance
the
of the
NBA.
power in the league. Like
Right.
you're
It's
getting
good.
that kind of back. And that was kind of like, I guess like 90s basketball. Like they had like, they didn't have like it was like one superstar a lot of the times on a team leading the way, or maybe two. You got a 1-2 punch. That's kind of how I like the NBA the way it's going right now because, and then you've seen like how super teams like hurt just overall roster in general. Because I mean, you got three guys that got uh, basically 70% of the cap on those three players. I mean, one example that always comes to mind that I always think, when this team came together, it's a chip. It was the Brooklyn Nets when they had Harden, Kyrie, and KD, and that's like one team right there where I'm like, shoot, man, like that team should have been,
man.
but it's the bench, when you got when you got three players at
Right.
that caliber, but you don't have the money to fill in everything else around them. It's like, well, like how great is that team really? Because they don't really have the pieces they need. You got to have those guys running the entire game, playing basically 48
Behind
minutes. Like,
hindsight is so clear, right? Because at that time, people were saying, "Well, how great are KD, Kyrie, and James Harden?" It had nothing to do with the team at that time. It was these guys don't know how to win. These guys are bad this, bad that. And that's kind of that plays a factor into what LeBron was talking about. It
yeah,
switches when you don't win, and that's why the whole super team thing was even, you know, became a reality. Like after David Stern left, God rest his soul. Like media, that's what it
the
turned to.
media. So I think the media is just they just first of all they overreact about everything.
Everything.
And second of all, they just like
That's what I
they
appreciate
quick
about your
react.
podcast. You don't overreact. You don't overreact.
I
You
can
have your
at
opinions.
times, but
Yeah, but for the most part though, you just have your opinions and your takes. Like you're not overreacting to everything, even about the Heat, right? Like you a diehard Heat fan, but you're not like you didn't make an entire podcast about if the Miami Heat were gonna get Kevin Durant. Like if you were a New York Knicks fan, you would have did 2, 3 episodes on if they were gonna the minute you thought that they were gonna get him, right? Like it's just some sports teams fans are delusional. And
I
New
mean
York
the
fans
the
on
what
the
if
line,
is always
number
going to
one.
be a conversation. Like
Yeah.
it's always going to be a conversation. But I mean I don't know the whole Heat thing. I think it's just like I think Pat Riley's like he's got a plan. Like I know he's got it, and I honestly don't hate us not
What you
getting
think
Kevin
about the
Durant.
Jimmy Butler thing as a Heat fan?
It's just like a a player wanted out, a chapter closed. It was a good run. I just think Jimmy was genuinely mad that he didn't win a title. I mean, he tried so hard, and I don't think we had the team around him that he necessarily needed, and we also didn't do what he needed to do when he was there. So like I think it's kind of a mixture of like management not doing their job, but also like Jimmy, being sick and tired of, trying to carry the team. But also like a lot of times like Jimmy was hurt. So like I think it's kind of difficult to assess that situation just as a Heat fan. Cause I mean I love Jimmy Butler. I love the way he plays the game. I think
Yeah.
he's a great teammate. Like whether he gets crap about, oh, like I yelled at like, my players one time and broke down the entire Timberwolves roster. I mean, I think that's just the competitive dog in him. Like
And look where they are now.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Like, look
and
where
now
they
they
are
got
now.
and now the Timberwolves have a similar dog in Ant. So like you
Right,
see how that dog mentality can work.
right.
Even if you don't have the team around him, that you need somebody like that. But I think it was just an end of an era. And Jimmy wasn't going to get the money. He's older, and we put him in a better situation to win now with Steph, and we got some players back, and we got some assets back.
I one question though. Did you see what D Wade said on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn with Melo?
I don't think I remember. I think I might have seen it, but I don't remember what he said.
They touched on it, and he basically what he said was like, when I left Miami, not to get into too much detail, but don't think, there wasn't a reason I left. Those are his words. Like things,
I know why.
So
I know
to
why.
that point, do you think Pat Riley needs to change a little bit? Not that
He's
he's going to, but do you
yeah,
think,
you said it perfectly. There's no point in even answering that question because he's not. He's just not. Like he just won't. He won't. It doesn't
and,
matter.
and as he shouldn't, bro. It's Pat Riley, right? Like who are we to tell him what to do? But I just thought that situation was funny, man, because you never see like that much. riffraff from the Miami Heat. Like you never see that much commotion. Just the way
But
players
have we
depart.
though? But I kind of disagree a little
Or
bit
maybe they
because
just sweep it under the rug. That's what I'm saying. As a Miami Heat fan, you know more than me. Are they just sweeping all this under the rug? Was there beef with D Wade and Pat Riley? Was there beef with Bron and Pat Riley? Was there
oh 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 yeah,
like
yes. Oh, and also there was beef between Pat Riley and Shaq. Just put that out there. Because Pat didn't want to keep him around. Pat was like, he just didn't want to keep him around. He's like,
out of
well,
shape
Shaq
and
is older, like he didn't
right.
want to do it. D Wade, that whole situation's weird, but he didn't want to pay LeBron. He chose to do one thing that summer, which is why LeBron went back to Cleveland. He paid Chris Bosh, which no shade towards Chris Bosh, but that told LeBron everything he needed to know right there. You want him more than me? Okay, fine. That's okay. That's okay.
Didn't he
And
take the least amount of money though when they all came together?
I don't remember the exact constraint. I know a lot. I know like all three of them took like pay cuts,
Hey,
like
Gus,
in a
yeah.
way. Like they all took less money because there was no way those three guys at that stage in their career for the money D Wade was the one who took the big pay cut from what I can recall. But he also didn't get like the treatment he should have at the end of his career either. I mean, when he
Right.
got let go, like he literally took us to the playoffs, was still
Yeah.
leading us with Whiteside as our center, and we were still a competitive team. But then he got it's that's just a whole mess because that's a whole Pat Riley thing that I've talked about numerous amount of times. He's just not going to change. He won't. He just won't. But we'll stick in the East because we're talking about the Heat. Another team in Florida made a move. Orlando Magic actually made a very intriguing trade, in my opinion. They got Desmond Bain. And what's the trade? They
Indiana
gave
guy.
up 4 unprotected first round picks, 1 first round pick swap, Cole Anthony, and KCP to get Desmond Bain. That's what the Magic gave up. That's a haul for Desmond Bain. I mean, that's about the same. That's a similar package to what the Rockets
Desmond
gave
Bain
up to
better
get
be putting
KD.
asses in seats, man. But that trade line, yeah. I mean, he's a good player, but that's a lot.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's an
That's a
overpay.
lot.
That's an overpay for sure. But I
That's
don't
an
know.
overpay we can agree on for
I
sure.
don't I don't know. I think it's interesting
That's a
though
lot,
because the
bro.
Magic needed 3-point shooting. Like they shot the worst I don't know if you knew this. The Magic last year shot the worst 3-point percentage since the 2015-2016 Lakers last year.
Mm.
And they're getting one of the best catch and
And we
shoot
know who
3-point
was on that
shooters.
team, the 2015-16 Lakers. A bunch of nobodies.
I saw that team play in person. They were not good.
Nick Young, a young Jordan Clarkson, them the dudes we
D'Lo,
know. A D'Lo, and then a bunch of dudes we don't know.
Jordan Hill.
Yeah, like man,
Yeah, that,
uh,
that team was bad. But that's how bad the Magic
who
shot
was
from
on
three.
like Jordy Meeks was on like his last.
Oh my God, was Jody Meeks still there?
Yeah, he was on his last.
That was who else was on that team?
Hey
God.
man,
I saw that team play in person and they scored like 80 against the Pacers. That was ugh.
we supposed to be practicing to get better, Mitch. Ain't doing shit for me.
Well,
Nick Young said nobody to work Garvey one on one.
oh, Carlos Boozer was on that team.
Yes. Oh, Jeremy Lin, was he on that team?
Yes. Do you remember when he waved Kobe
Yes.
off?
That's that, bro. That's the video. Jeremy Lin, shoot it. Talked right into that bullshit. Like,
Yes.
nah, bro.
Yes, dude.
Kobe hated that team.
You
Hated
could
that
tell
team.
because when he went on Jimmy Kimmel's like, "Hey, they won a game while you weren't playing."
Yes.
And he's like, "What do you think about this, Kobe?" And Kobe's like, he just looks at
He
it.
just looks.
He
He just
says
looks.
nothing at all. He's like,
Nothing.
and then Jimmy's like, "That wouldn't have happened when you were there, right?" And Kobe's like,
Nothing, bro. No comment, bro. Why are we even playing around, bro? No comment. Nah.
But the
RIP.
Magic but that's how bad the Magic shot from the 3-point line. The moral of
Yeah.
the story last year, they needed 3-point shooting. Desmond
Absolutely.
Bain he's a 40% 3-point shooter. Like he'll
And
help him.
and he locks up.
Yeah, he
So
can play defense. He can.
we'll see. We'll see. But that's a lot. That's a lot for That's like we about to get KD trade.
That's what I'm saying. That's like
That's a
almost the
lot.
same package, dang near. That pretty much the same. That's almost
No,
the same, except
that
minus
is the
one
same.
pick, five
Right.
picks
Right.
instead of six.
Yep.
Like I don't know how you can even give that much up for a player who's I don't think Desmond Bain I don't even know if he's a star.
They're
Like
I think they're gonna be trying to win in 3 to 5 years, and he's gonna be a piece that they know will help them win.
well, he's under contract for a while. He's under
Right.
contract for a minute.
But like that's a guy that like that's a solid one of the solid foundation guys that you can help build off of. Like we know we got a two-way player um that we can count on to play it every night, be healthy. 'Cause, I mean that's the thing right now, right? Like health. Like um
That's the
you know
thing with the
you,
Magic, though. They struggled with health.
right.
Franz and Paulo got hurt,
Yeah,
which they were a
exactly.
top three seed in the East when
Exactly.
Paulo got hurt.
And then Paulo needs space too, so that's gonna help with spacing offensively and um yeah, bro. I mean, it is a lot, but who
Does that make
knows?
the Magic a contender in the East with it
Stop
being
it.
so wide open?
Stop it.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Mm-mm.
You don't
They're
think
not gonna
so?
be able to beat. They're not gonna be able to beat y'all just because y'all have Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley. Like they're not gonna be able to beat whatever team the Miami Heat come up with. They're not gonna be able to beat them in a 7 game
Hmm,
series. Let's just be
interesting.
honest.
Hmm.
We could come back to that next year, but let's just be honest, bro. They're
So Matt, you don't think the Magic are any legit threat?
not right now. Not right now.
Would you take into a factor 2 playoffs ago them taking Cleveland 7 and them growing and hopefully being healthier?
No, it's Orlando, bro. No,
You
like
just
they're not even like that. Okay, I'll give you another team, the Pacers, and these aren't even teams that I expect in the next couple years to be 1, 2, or 3. These are teams that I said the Heat and the Pacers, two teams that I think are going to be middle of the pack towards the bottom.
I think the
And
Magic are a little bit better than middle of the pack. I think they're like lower, like top. They're like the lower half of the top
are they
in the
better than the
East.
Pacers with the move without Tyrese next year?
Without Tyrese next year, maybe,
Maybe, right?
maybe it.
And the Pacers are
I'd
going to
probably
sit
say
in the
me.
middle of the
Yeah,
pack.
I'd probably say yes because I think Paula's going to take another leap. I think Wagner's going to take another leap. Jalen Suggs is coming back. Still got Anthony Black as well coming off the bench. I think they've got some pieces that are solid. And then you
We
got
got
Desmond
guys to
Bain.
X those guys out. And then we got Siakam, who's won a championship. So,
Yeah, I just think the Magic are a young team, but like they're up and coming.
or the Pacers.
Yeah, you guys are young too. And you guys have proven that you guys can make the fun. I don't know. That's an interesting one. Who will be better? Pacers without Halliburton and the Magic. That's close. That's a close one.
Or
Yeah,
Miami. Or Miami.
I
Like,
don't, I don't really have a lot of confidence in. We're middle of the pack, guaranteed. Like we're
yeah,
playing, we're the play-in team. We're
you
guaranteed for the play-in.
you two emotionally tied into it right now. I can see in your reaction. You got some
We're
hate in your heart
playing.
for the Heat right now,
We're in
man.
the play-in. It's
You gotta
guaranteed.
get that out your heart right now, bro. It's a new season next year. Anything can happen. You gotta get that. You gotta get that out your heart.
Well, I better get that out of my heart if we draft Walter Clayton Jr.
There you
in this
go.
draft. That's what I want.
There you go.
We better get him. I want a point guard. I get, Tyler here. Yeah, I don't really see him as a point guard in my opinion.
Yeah, what are y'all doing with him?
Huh? He's
I
an off
thought about
guard.
him when we were talking. Like, what are y'all doing?
No. I mean, we paid him, so he's there. And he's the number one scoring option. Like, I don't know, but everyone knows Bam's the best player on the team. It's just, I think we need somebody to run the offense. And guess who in that KD trade? Guess who was offered in that trade to offset the salary cap that we didn't give up?
Mm,
Surprisingly, Terry Rozier.
mm. It's the offense.
But like, he sucked last year. He wasn't doing anything. He was not good. The Heat
Yeah,
games I went to, he was not playing well.
I didn't even watch the Heat last year.
I
I
went
don't
to a
remember
good
one
amount of
game,
games, and
one
they
Heat
were
game that I
not.
watched.
Every time Terry was in, our offense was sloppy. I mean,
But
sloppy.
they're probably thinking what I'm thinking. When you think of Terry Rozier, you think instant offense, no matter what type of season he has. You think instant offense. So,
I mean, you used to think that, but I don't think that anymore with him. But I just
and you
don't.
know better than me because you watched the Heat. So, hey, maybe I'm just outdated. But look, Terry Rozier, tough.
But he's not playing.
As
Like
a
he doesn't even
basketball
play on the
fan, as
Heat.
a basketball player, Terry Rozier, tough, tough.
He's good, but I don't. He's not as good as he used to be though.
Nah,
He's lost his confidence. He's
I can
just
see that. Yeah,
I
I can
don't
see
know.
that.
I feel like the East is just such a question mark. Like I don't even think we even know what's going to happen in the East next year. It's going to be like even this year, but even when we thought we knew, right? Like I mean,
I
y'all
think like
snuck in there.
we haven't seen
Like
and
how's
this is
Boston without Jason Tatum? I mean, we don't know like those kind of
I
things.
was Milwaukee with the healthy, you know, big three.
I don't
Like
I don't know.
I think that team is really good, healthy. Like I don't even know like and
But
I'm just
Lillard's
as
not
limited.
playing. He's not playing next year probably.
Right. That's what the like so we did
We don't know. It's an injury prone East. That's what we're looking at. It's an
like a
injury
healthy
prone
Damian
East.
Lillard, a healthy Giannis, and a healthy Chris Middleton.
Well,
I
Chris
was
Middleton, remember he got traded.
oh yes.
He's on the Wizards now. They traded him for Kyle Kuzma, which I hated that trade, by the way. Kyle Kuzma did nothing when he was on. He Why would you trade for Kyle Kuzma?
Forgot
Like,
all about that, bro.
why would you trade for that? Like, he doesn't play defense.
Kuz, man.
Why would you
Kuz ain't
trade?
had confidence in his game since he been on the Lakers, and that's sad. Cause Kuz was nice in college. Like Kuz was a good basketball player, bro. Like he just don't got no confidence, so he looks bad. But
And he doesn't
man,
look like he's seen a weight room either.
yeah,
Like, I don't know. He doesn't look like he belongs. Like, his frame is just looks weird in an NBA uniform. Like, he's got all those tattoos. It's like a 2K My Player where you forget to like upgrade all the attributes, but then you got all the tattoos.
yeah, right. Dude look like he could hoop. That's AAU circuit stuff. Dude look like he could hoop, but can't really hoop. Dunking in warm ups.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. But which trade I mean, obviously you're going with you think the Rockets are going to benefit the most out
Yeah,
of the two trades we
yeah,
talked about.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah,
I think that's an easy
yeah. It's
conversation.
KD. I don't think there's a scenario where you give up too much for KD. So yeah, I mean, and then just his efficiency at his age puts the age question, out of the picture to
Yeah.
me. Now
Yeah.
to everybody else, 36 is still 36. But to
That's what I
me,
said.
what he's turned his game into, 36 doesn't matter, bro. He's not banging down low, pause. He's not, you know, you ain't asking him to guard the best player. He's improved defensively over the years, but you're not asking him to guard the best player.
We
The
don't need
wearing,
to.
yeah, the wearing tax on his body is not really
Especially the
there. You just
personnel the Rockets have. You don't need
right.
to.
You just worry about him being injured, just like you worry about everybody else. So if he can stay healthy, bro, I mean, the Rockets, and then you got Fred VanVleet too. Like he's still holding it
Yeah, he's
down.
still
Like
good. He's still really
he was the
good.
only person that could shoot last year for them. The only guy. Imagine that. They like he got Steph treatment for a little bit. They're double teaming him coming off a high pick and roll just to get the ball to his hands so they can relax on defense because they know no one else can shoot threes like that. Yeah. Pairing that with, you know, KD and then what their potential starting lineup could be, like it
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
I think that's what they saw, right? We can still have this lineup starting five so we can get rid of everybody else.
What do you
And
think? I know,
respectfully, I'm not worried about Dylan Brooks. Like he a great player, but I'm giving up his defense for Kevin Durant every day of the week.
I,
Every day of the week. I'm giving up his antics. You trade antics like imagine this. You give up trying to get in the best player's head so you don't got to worry about him as much to get back a top 5 player. Now you gonna have a guy that guys are trying to, get into like it just things that you had to worry about, you don't have to worry about no more with KD. Shooting, mid-range shots, all the things like
I
over
mean,
with.
he's a scorer. He's
He's
always
a
been there.
scorer. He'll
He's
handle
always
that.
been elite. And
Dylan Brooks and his antics and all of that, man.
well, he's going to Phoenix now. I think we haven't talked about Phoenix on this. They're on this other end of trade.
It
They
was
look
so.
they look ridiculous
Yeah,
right
they
now.
have
They have
six
5
shooting
shooting
guards.
guards. I saw the depth chart. Someone posted it on Twitter, and I'm like, they really got this many 2 guards on. Like,
Yeah, no, I saw.
How is this team gonna play
It
together?
said PG blank. Shooting guard, Devin Booker,
Yeah,
Grayson
that's a
Allen.
yeah, that's a tweet I
Small
saw.
forward blank.
I sent that in this group chat. I'm like, hey, I just saw this tweet. I think this is the funniest thing ever. It's pretty darn fun. Devin Booker and Bradley Beal and then Dylan
That's
Brooks,
so like,
Jalen
bro.
Green.
The bad part, like,
Oh God.
I feel so bad for D Book because if they would have found some way to keep Chris Paul and then added KD, like, bro,
Oh, that would have been so
all
good.
they needed was a point guard, and Tyus Jones. But by the time he got there, like he couldn't really do much. And then, look, I'm a big Tyus Jones fan. Like I love his game. I think he great pickup for them and what they were trying to do. Put him at the one, distribute the ball. But by the time he got there, bro, it was already over. So like I think if they could have kept Chris Paul, so I just feel bad for D Book because now it's like what is like he's back in the position he was in on his rookie contract. Like
But at what extent does Devin Booker go, hey, I want to trade. Get me out of here. I mean, how much longer
I think that's
is it going to
coming soon,
take?
bro, because he's a winner. Like D Book, he's a winner, bro. He was on that, platoon system team that won 30 something games and lost. Like he don't know how to lose. So he's not gonna go from almost reaching the championship, having pretty good success to back to how he was, when he was playing on his rookie contract and just scoring 70 points and just playing basketball, but
You
not
need
for
a
any reason.
point guard. And that's why I was
Yeah.
so mad at the Suns getting rid of Chris Paul at the time because I thought
Made no sense.
I thought it was dumb.
Made no sense.
Like
No sense.
why? They were so
No
good
sense.
together. They
They were
played
so
so well together.
no sense.
I mean, it
Chris
was a
Paul
perfect
plays well
team.
together with anybody. Like it's Chris Paul. You could put him with anybody. Like that's like, bro.
I mean, that Suns team was flawless. I mean, they were really good that year. They were fun to watch. Now they just ran into a better
Like
player, but
like Westbrook. This is just random, but like Westbrook can't start because he can't shoot and he struggles to play like with starters, right? Because they need space and stuff. Chris Paul could make Russell Westbrook start again, and a team with Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul in the backcourt look good. That's how good Chris Paul is. Like
is
it don't
Phoenix
matter
an
who you.
option for Russell Westbrook?
Why not add another guard? Why not?
You gotta have like what, seven,
That,
eight
like
guards?
with that, no, bro. He's not a like. If you just want guards, yeah, but he. I thought I was surprised he wouldn't stay in Denver.
Yeah, he declined his player option,
Yeah,
which I thought
I
he was
was
going to take because he was going to be making money off that player option.
right.
Take it.
Take it.
I mean, he was a corner 3 specialist for some reason on that team. I don't know why, but you need
Corner
to
3
give.
specialist and then lose his mind after every three. Like, bro, I love seeing Russell hit 1 3, loses. Dude will be 1 for 8. The one he hits, he will lose his mind.
Like, it's
Like,
just like,
I
when did
love
his game come to that? Just corner threes. I mean, it's just sad.
it. I don't. That's a topic, bro. When did Russell Westbrook's game decline? Because I can't remember.
don't-
I
Was it
can't
the it
pinpoint
wasn't the
year.
Wizards because he still averaged a triple double that year. It
But
wasn't the Wizards.
it's just like when did his game even get to that point where we're
I feel
shuffling
like
him
it was the
around?
Lakers. It was the Lakers. if I had to pinpoint an exact time frame where Russell Westbrook's game kind of started to deteriorate, it was the Lakers, man. Because
He
one,
didn't
his
play on the.
confidence went out the window.
He wasn't on the team. Him and Rondo never played together, right?
But no, I don't think so. But him and LeBron, like that was just a mess because I feel like there was so much pressure for that team to win. Because
And Bron needs space, and Bron needs space and the ball. You're exactly right. That trade did it because Bron needs space and the ball. He couldn't have the ball, and he's not a space creator. He needs the ball to do what he does, bro. And
you
that,
can't
yeah,
have
no, you're
Westbrook
right.
play off the ball. You just can't.
Right.
Like it's not his game. He's gonna drive into the paint, kick it to shooters.
Not creating space that way.
And
Exactly.
if you got LeBron on the perimeter as a shooter, it just that's why it didn't work.
Yeah.
That's probably where it happened right there.
Yeah.
I
Because
don't. That's
he
tough.
left OKC and
He left OKC, went to I think it was Houston, right? He went to the Rockets, correct?
yeah, we already know that's what I was saying, bro. We already and that's why I said that because right now he can make that look good again. Like we already know they can play together.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't. He's had a weird like talk about like having like one of the best MVP seasons of all time, and then after that, just everyone's wondering. I feel like that's always a conversation, just with like basketball fans in general, is like, you know,
I-
what happened with Russell Westbrook? Like he was such a great player. He obviously deserves a championship, but it's just
it,
like,
the mid-range game was taken out of the game. That's like Russ cooked just getting to his pull-up, like quick transition pull-ups, quick ball screen pull-ups. And then that got the big higher and higher, and then he can get into the paint and make plays. Um, but when you take the mid range out the game, and then it's like
but
they still
Shea's bringing it
guarding.
back. Shea's bringing it back though.
Right, Shea bringing it back, but Russ is 37, like 36. It don't matter now. Like he's on the tail end of his career. Um, he needs to be able to shoot the ball. Like when you're getting that mid range shot wide open, but you're also like your coaches are telling you like, yeah, shoot it, but it's like we really don't need you shooting that, but they're giving it to you. Like that messes with your mental, especially if you've been making a living off of this. Like
Yeah.
so, I think that played a big factor into it too.
Well, it's just
It's like
like
what
the
they
whole thing with the 3-point line. That's kind of where that conversation also
Bro,
starts
it's
is
like what
like,
they tried to do with Melo. It's like,
well, like there was no reason that he should have not been, well, there's
man,
no reason he should have been fighting to be on an NBA team. Like
bro,
everybody knew, like,
one
it's
of
not
the
like Melo
worst,
didn't want to win.
one of the worst looks for the NBA ever,
I hated that.
ever. Top 75, first ballot Hall of Famer was fighting for a job.
It shouldn't be happening. Shouldn't.
Come on. And Carmelo Anthony.
I mean, like, come on. Like, if anybody should be fighting for a job right now, it's PG. Like, not Carmelo. Like I'm just saying, like
Don't do that.
the injuries though.
Don't do that. Stop it. You know I wasn't gonna let you get away with that. PG,
I'm
are you
just
crazy
saying.
fighting for a job? Man, stop it. He's too valuable. Healthy, Paul George, too valuable. He hadn't been healthy. We ain't seen him healthy. So don't say that. A
But it's
healthy
the
Paul
same
George
thing
is
with
way
like,
too valuable. He'll never be fighting for a job. Just like Melo shouldn't have been fighting for a job. But bro, I allow way too much slander, and I have to because PG ain't won nothing, so I allow it. But that I will never allow. He's not fighting for no job. 6'8", the way he handles the ball, defends, scores. He's not fighting for no job. Man, stop. Stop. I don't ever want to hear that again. Respect. Stop it, bro. Fighting for a job, Paul George. Come on.
I mean, right now,
No, no, no. How? He shoots the ball way too well. How would he be fighting for a job right now?
I
He
don't.
shoots and defends way too well. The two things that people want. And then to add a bonus to that, he's 6'8".
You think he shoots the ball well
Bro,
now?
he hasn't been healthy.
That has to have some kind of weight. I mean, he's spending more time on his podcast than trying to get healthy.
Everybody has a podcast, bro. Like, why can't these players be? Come on, bro. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. Like the way people think these athletes are supposed to be robots.
I'm not
And
saying that.
yeah, no, I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying like if we were to get into that, there'd be a bunch of people that agree with you and a bunch of people that don't know basketball that agree with you that are just gonna say like, yeah, that's the reason why he's playing bad because he's got a podcast. Like, so
Well, that's not what. That's not.
I don't even want to talk.
I don't. I think he's playing bad because, well, he's always hurt. But also, like, I just don't think he's good at getting to his spots anymore. Like, just my personal opinion, watching him, it just looks like he's fighting for position on the
Give
court.
him give him one more season healthy and then make that assessment, bro. I've never seen Paul George struggle to get a shot off. Ever. On no team in any system, I've never seen him struggle to score the basketball. I haven't seen it.
I mean, maybe it's a
Healthy
little bit recency bias for me because I mean, I
for
just
for
can't.
sure, bro.
Because I'm
For
not
sure.
saying like as a whole, like I mean, with both Carmelo and PG, I mean, if you look at their total body of work, there's no reason they. Yeah, I should take that back completely. Not fighting for a job is an overstatement.
Crazy.
But for him to be, I guess, a piece on a championship team, maybe that's where the conversation can start. But I wouldn't say that he's like a. That's
Now,
probably what I. That's probably
even
more
that I'd have
realistic.
to disagree with, bro, because I think anybody who like Paul George isn't a problem, right? Like he can come in, play a role. He's fine with being a number two. After being a number one for the majority of his career, he's fine with being a number two. So like I think any GM is looking at a guy like that and saying, bro, the minute you're available and healthy, we're gonna grab you. That's why Philly grabbed him. He was available and healthy, and they saw a fit, an opportunity for him to be a part of a fit that would propel them to a championship. It didn't work. Why? Because they all got injured. And just to think that Paul George and Joel Embiid would stay healthy on the same team was crazy anyways. Like, that's just the 76ers' fault. But he's been injury prone, bro. Like, give him one more year healthy and then judge him. And then if he's not where he's supposed to be, I'll come on your podcast and tell you he should hang it up pretty soon. It's time to, Paul Pierce your way out. You feel me? Paul Pierce was cool, right? He had respect on his way out, but dudes was also throwing his jersey back at him, like his headbands back, like I get it, bro.
And
He just
Draymond was
never
also saying you don't deserve a farewell tour
right,
and all
and
that.
he won a championship, so
Yeah.
it's like PG ain't even on that level.
Well, that's the thing that's upsetting is with Carmelo is like he never got a farewell tour.
Yeah, but Melo, man.
He never got one.
Melo's full body of work is so like his whole career, like high school, college, league, Olympic, like it's his full body of work speaks for itself, bro. The league, they tried it, bro. They really tried to diminish his career, but his full body of work is too great. Paul George is not the same, you know. He needs a championship to kind of solidify like his greatness, or else it'll just be guys like me who are biased, who fighting for his greatness. But he needs a championship. So, but Melo, the league tried it, but he's been solidified, bro. He won a national championship as a freshman. He won a national championship in high school. He's four-time
He just
Olympic
didn't
gold medal.
win. He just
He
didn't
just
win at the NBA. That
didn't
was
win, and it was to no fault of his own. Every time he didn't win, you could always say it wasn't his fault.
and it was
You could
supposed to be
always say
him.
it,
It was supposed to be him, not Chris Bosh on that Heat team.
right? I
Everybody
forget
knows
it.
that.
I forgot it exactly. It's supposed to be him.
Which I don't know how that would have went. I think it would have went a little bit different if he was there.
Yeah, that
That's
would
hard to
have.
predict. I
That's
just don't
hard.
know if those three. I just don't know if him and LeBron could have played
I don't know
together.
how the spacing even works at that time either, because like they
No,
both were so back to the basket mid range, and then D Wade too, who's a slasher, like who's that just forces. Yeah,
it wouldn't.
that
It
was
wouldn't have worked. It
yeah.
wouldn't have worked. I don't think it wouldn't have worked. And one Carmelo or LeBron would have asked out, and it would have been a mess. I mean, Chris Bosh was like a fit for the team. Like he
Yeah.
was a team great.
Perfect fit.
Still an
I hated
all-star.
that. I hated that team like that. I mean, I was a big LeBron hater back then because what they were doing to the Pacers. But like I was saying, hindsight's so clear. Like that team was a really fun team to watch too. Like just they were. I mean,
I just
and
watched
a big piece of it was because of Chris Bosh, like the way he spaced the floor and
pick and roll,
pick
really
and
good in the pick
roll,
and
pick and
roll.
pop.
He opened his 3-point shot, which like people
Yes.
forget how good Chris Bosh was before he even got to the Heat. On the Raptors, I
Mhm.
mean, he was one of the best players in the league.
Yes.
Like, and he's putting up like 25 points a game. Like
Yes.
that dude was special,
Yes.
special. But I watched LeBron and that. Remember when he hit the game winner, 2014 on the Warriors? It was he like it was like
Oh,
yeah,
in
it's like
Golden State. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
I literally like just rewatched those
He had on
highlights.
them gray them platinum gray kicks, yeah,
Oh
or
my,
like the metallic gray kicks. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
that dude. I like looking back. I'm like, man, we really take LeBron for granted as just a. I feel like a lot of people take him for granted because just what he's been doing for so long. I mean, everyone's wondering like when's he going to hang it up, and I just don't think he is ever going to get to the point where he's not performing on the basketball court to just say, "Hey, I'm done." Like there's just no way,
He
no
gonna
way.
have to. It's really gonna be up to him. And God, like knock on wood, right? Like God forbid nothing happens to his body. But he's probably gonna just really have to just or somebody in his family gonna have to tell him like, bro, just stop. Like you don't
You don't need to
like,
play. You've already done enough. You're the
bro. You got
all-time leading
Bryce.
scorer. You know, you
Bryce.
I heard he might go into TV though. I've been hearing rumors about him going to Amazon since they got that deal with the NBA. I've heard him being an analyst possibly.
That'd be great, bro. Like I love his mind of game. Like I think that's so good for basketball. It's so good for people to hear, for players to hear, like myself, bro. Like just just his perspective on the game is much needed.
And then Steve Nash to complement that too. I
Right,
mean,
Steve Nash,
geez,
even when JJ Redick was on, but yeah, Steve
right.
Nash to complement that is what you need for basketball. Like the game is in a great space right now because of the podcast. Like these players, and that's the piece that I feel like people don't like. Like you can't just say whatever you want to say and
What's freedom of speech?
it be the end all be all as a media outlet or like these players. Like now, people aren't looking to your outlets for information; they're looking to the players
Well,
because
that's they have the knowledge, you know?
right,
Like, I mean,
exactly.
that's
Like
why I
why
bring
wouldn't you want to listen to players? Like why wouldn't you want to?
like that's why I bring
Unless you
somebody
don't
like
want to
you
hear what
on
they're saying.
because like I didn't play the game in college. Like
Hmm.
I didn't play at a high level. Like I mean, I know the game, I've watched it, but like I mean, you know it way better than me just by what you've done as a basketball player. And that's just how it is. And it's okay, but I feel like a lot of media people like me or like, you know, all these higher uppers are like don't want to full on say admit that cuz it's okay. Like we just don't have that kind of mind. Like
Yeah,
I mean, I'm spread around. Like basketball is not even my focal point. Like I mean,
right,
I talk about a million different sports,
right.
but like you have to be okay with like okay the players they played
Mhm.
they have to have their own space but the media we have our own space as well. We're
Right,
absolute stat masters. We'll give you any crazy stat you want to know.
right,
Like that's our forte. That's what we're good at.
right.
But we're not good at sitting here and telling you what happened on the court and dissecting an entire 48 minutes and telling you all these schemes that happened.
And I'm even good. Like I'm even good with people who don't like it. Like don't like it all you want, but just don't make that the reason why these guys have a bad game. Like, or don't, you know, that's not the reason for anything that has to do with on the court. Like, these guys get all their work done. They could go to the gym, shoot 1,000 shots, hit 70% of them, and then
Well, it's kind of like the
Miss
the
every
shut up
shot the
and
next
dribble
game.
type thing. Like it's like,
Right.
oh, you don't need to be on the
Exactly.
mic. Like you need to play
Exactly.
basketball. You need to focus on your job, which like I'm guilty of saying like, yeah, go get healthy, like with Paul George. Like, I mean, but like, I mean, he can have his own podcast, which is fine. I mean,
Like
everybody
he
can do
could
whatever they want to do. Like it doesn't matter. It
podcast,
doesn't
but
affect me.
and it's not like it's not affecting them either, bro. Like
They don't care.
they don't care. They
Like
don't.
if even if you're in this position,
These dudes are making too much money off of their podcast to even care. Like, because while people are saying they don't like it, they're watching it. So at the same time, you don't like it, you're adding to their bread. So they're making too much money, period. And then that podcast money is like pennies to them based on what they're actually getting. So like they don't care, bro. And it's good for the game. Football, same way. Any sport where professionals are talking about the sport is good for the game.
yeah,
Tennis,
absolutely.
golf, baseball, hockey, like whatever sport we talking about. Any time the people who are professionals at it are speaking about the game, you should shut up and listen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoever. And that's like just what it is.
And
So
that's our job as media. So like, okay, let's toss everybody and then say, all right, we asked a question, we gave our stat, now you go.
right.
That's basically the whole premise of it. That's how it should be. I mean, I feel like that whole dynamic gets mixed up because like I just don't know how a guy like Stephen A is an analyst. I mean, isn't an analyst by definition a guy who played the game? I mean, correct me if
It's
I'm wrong,
much
but that's
harder
what
in
it is.
today's world to do what he's doing, having his background, like not really playing, not really being good. Like it'll be harder to have that background today and do what he's doing than it was for him back then when he was coming up. Because back then it was like it was more
Well, there
so
was
about
no, well, players didn't have their own outlets. They didn't have their own
right,
platforms
and it was
then.
just about like being good at what he does, right? Like he's entertaining, he's personable, he you turn him on, like you're gonna listen whether you like him or not. Like that's he brings ratings, like that's what it was about, and that's what it's still about, like money. So that's why he's an analyst,
I
bro.
don't I don't listen to him. I can't listen to him yelling, screaming.
I listen to him. Like I listen to him, bro. I listen to his podcast.
I don't really listen to
I
his
watch
show, to be
first
fair.
take. I mean I don't catch all his episodes, but like yeah, I mean I watch first take every day, so like it's I hear him enough to like disagree and agree with the majority of the stuff he says. Like I said, I'm back and forth with it. Sometimes I look at him like, bro, what are you talking about? Other times I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a good analysis. But yeah, like lately it's been like, what are you talking about? Like the Giannis thing blew me completely. Like I
Yeah.
just blew me, bro. What do we like? All y'all do is talk about championships. Dude got one, and now one isn't enough. Like, okay, what are we talking about? All we say is if Charles Barkley would have, if T Mac would have, if this guy would have, and now a guy get one, and it.
Is it a fair assessment to say this? Because I kind of came to this conclusion today, actually.
Mhm.
Is it a fair assessment to say the GOAT debate for any sport is unfair? And basketball being the forefront of this, is it unfair?
uh, I don't think it's unfair. One, because it keeps talk going, and two, you gotta have that guy. Like you just gotta have that guy. Like for football, for basketball, for hockey, for golf, like any sport, you have to have that guy. So one, players know what to reach for, and and two, just to have like a pinnacle, like
But can't you categorize it a little bit more to where it's specific? Like, point guards are not the same as a
some
center.
guys just have that effect on a game where it's like you can't, like a Michael Jordan or a Tom Brady or you know Wayne Gretzky. Like some guys just have that effect. Babe Ruth, like just you can't categorize it because they were just way better than everybody else,
But it's like you can
or way better
categorize
than
it.
anybody that you could any ever come up with or think about. Like some guys are just
I think it's just hard because you can individualize it a lot. Like, Magic is a point guard, but also like, Wilt's a center. Like they're not the same, but we compare them anyways, but they're different positions. I think it's very hard to compare different positions. I mean, you're a point
but if
guard,
you were categorizing everything, bro,
but imagine someone
it'd
comparing a
be
center to you, for example. Like that's just it's just you can't. You
you
do things
can't, but
differently.
you can't. But there probably is somebody that'll say like, or you know, or one of our high school teams like somebody was better than me. I don't know. Like the probably is, bro. It's just like that keeps the topic going. Like that. That's good for the sport, bro. The GOAT conversation is good for the sport of basketball or good for any sport in that matter. Uh, I don't mind it. I think we just, we gotta. What are what are the qualifications? I think that's like the question. What are we?
Well, winning, I think, is the forefront of that. And that
Right.
you got to win. And you got to be individually great. I mean, just those two things alone kind of carry the
That's the
conversation.
problem. Like that changes year by year. That's the problem. It's not who's the GOAT. Is that changes. It's like some people say if Bron like even if Bron gets 6 rings, he'd never be the GOAT. Or even if Bron got 7, he'd never be the GOAT. Or it's like, well, how can you say that? Or you got people who say Jordan's the GOAT, even though Bill Russell has 11. Like it just like the conversation that conversation changes, bro. But it's good for the game. Like what else would you talk about if we were like it'd be a conversation that would never stop.
No, it
Well, this
wouldn't.
point guard, that shooting guard, this point guard. We got a million
I
point
mean,
guards.
we just compared earlier in this video a small forward to a point guard.
Right,
And I
right.
don't even know how long that conversation
Bro, we
lasted,
we was
but
comparing Jokic and
and
SGA.
yeah, it's just fun.
Like, yeah, it's fun to do because and then you gotta think it's a team sport too. So like if this was like an individual sport, it'd be a little harder. But with team sports, like so much of the like you still have the other guys on the team too. So
I
it's
feel like
like,
that's what I feel like individual sports, it's easier because it's just them. Like
right.
with team sports, you got so many other components and factors that you can blame for this guy not winning or whatever. Like with an individual sport, they all you have is to blame
But
them.
that's why the GO conversation is good because it's like how do you elevate the other people around you? That also plays into,
Yeah,
you know, the conversation because how could it not? Because what we just agreed on, winning is the first thing that matters. So in winning and basketball, the sport we talking about, you can't just do it by yourself.
No,
So,
no.
that's why the conversation is good and it's important because it's about who elevates who and who doesn't. And that's why, I understand the KD stuff because it's like, does he
Does he?
really?
Yeah.
He's never really been put in a position where he has to elevate. Well, now we're going to see it, but he's never, or if he has, he hasn't really done that great.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like elevating your team and making one else around you better gets confused with leadership. Because I feel like that's a thing that needs to be clarified because you can be a great leader and not even be the best player on the team. But then also you can be the best player on the team and not be a leader. Like it's
You're
okay.
right.
Like Kevin Durant just
That's what I should say. I should stop saying elevate your game because KD does elevate other people's game around him. He's just not
he's not a
an
vocal
outspoken
person.
leader. Yeah, right,
Like that's the thing. Like when you're a leader, you're
right,
outspoken. And KD's always been, that guy who's quiet. He's just trying to hoop. Like
right.
same with JT.
Well,
Like
not even when you're a leader, you're outspoken. It's like the leader that everybody wants to see is the outspoken one. Like KD leads just in his own way. Like leading is being 37 and 50, 40, 90. Like that's leading, bro. This is what you do your whole career.
Leading by example, I guess.
Leading by example. Yeah, that's leading.
But
I'm
there's
gonna show
but
up
there's a
every
bunch of different types of leadership as well.
for
It
sure.
it's just hard to like because
Nobody agrees with his because of a decision he made 6 years ago. Like that's
yeah.
the only thing that holds. That's the only thing that make people talk about him the way they talk about him because
But
of a
even the
decision.
vocal leader on that team was Draymond. I
Right.
mean, you know,
It's
like
not
even
right. It
Steph,
wasn't Steph.
Steph is in the same predicament, but he doesn't get, you know, punished the same way KD does
He's
when it
been on
comes to
one
his
team his whole
winning.
career.
Like that's it. Like it's just an inconsistent conversation.
He's been
And
on one team his whole career, and he won the
and it,
first year as the guy. Before, like if KD would have won in OKC, it would have been a whole thing. But he won the first year as the guy, so
and one
that's why.
after as the guy too.
And one
Like,
after as a guy, yeah, like
yeah,
that.
that's the thing.
It's a big yeah. People gotta put some respect on his name too. Steph Curry, bro.
Steph's
I
high
think
in
I've
the
said this to
he's
you,
high in
but
there.
when he gets done with basketball, he'll be on the Mount Rushmore, bro. Like,
I think he is
think
already.
about it.
He's the
It'll
greatest
be
shooter
hard to
ever.
greatest shooter ever.
No one thought that would even be possible.
No,
No
and
one
then
thought that.
he did it in 2022. Like that, they weren't supposed to win that series.
That championship is so good for him. Like, I mean, that championship is just so good.
Finals MVP, like
That boosted him so much. Like, it
yes,
really did. Like, his legacy is so strong just because of that. Like, it's like
yes.
you can't deny his greatness after that. It's like, all right,
No,
that's Steph Curry. Like,
I wasn't denying it before then. I don't know why people were, but yeah, bro, you
yeah,
can't. Like he's another one of them ones, bro. Like Mount Rushmore is, but like that's why, bro. KD, it's because of a decision he made, bro. And
one
the
decision.
simple truth is, his game would
But
have
isn't it the same for
continued.
LeBron? Like, I mean, why is he doesn't get the same criticism at
Bron
all?
don't get that. I don't know. I
I
have
mean, it's
no
the same
idea.
situation if you
I have
really
no
think about it.
idea.
It's
I
just
used to I used to argue that point back then, but I stopped
it's
because
just he
it's
didn't
people
join
weren't
the
hearing
team
it.
directly. He just didn't join like it's not like LeBron joined the Celtics.
It's
It's
because
not
they
like
weren't
that.
73-9 like that.
That's
That's
the
the thing.
thing. Yeah.
Which like is so. If they would have maybe won 50 games or like 55, but like bro, they won 73
But
games.
it's not even that though. It's before that. They were up 3-1. That's what it was.
Yeah,
And they had the Warriors by the throat.
and beat them, join them.
That's what I'm saying. They were one game away. And then that's where the decision really got people angry. Is you almost beat them. It's not that you couldn't win. It's not like you got
It
bounced
was
out of the first round that year and didn't win.
it
It's
was a
just
basketball decision that and that's why I love KD so much because
he didn't
I'm a,
care.
I'm a basketball savant, bro. Like he loves the game of basketball. He just wanted to elevate his game. He wanted to be around better players. He wanted to continue to develop his game, bro. Wanted to learn how to move without the ball. Like all things that have turned him into the 50, 40, 90 player at 36. Like you can't blame him for that. And we see it's worked for him, bro. It's like he's so efficient. He doesn't need to dribble to score the ball.
No.
Like and a lot of that came from his experience with the Warriors. He knows how to move. He knows how to put himself in position to get the easiest shot before he even has to dribble. He didn't know how to do that before he got to the Warriors.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
even he'll say that. So like that ain't even my analysis. That's word from KD. Like he just his game, a guy that was already top five in the league, his game got that much even better. So as a basketball fan, bro, and as a basketball player, which helps my perspective a lot, I can't fault him for doing that. And that's why I never did. And like I said, I love Steph. So like it's perfect for me. Cool. I love KD too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. I
Stop
mean,
it. I mean, and my thing, the Pacers had to figure out how to stop the Heat, and we didn't. So to everybody else, good luck, bro. Good luck. I'm not feeling bad for nobody. We were the only team that really could stop the Heat. The super team that everybody was running from. We were the only team that could really stop them, and we didn't. And we had to take that. So the league had to take that, and that's just what was what it was. And it
well,
was
that's what
good for
happens.
basketball. It was great for basketball.
It's competitive. I mean, you want competition against the best, and two teams can't win.
Mm-mm.
So I mean, that's
Why would
that's
you
the
want it
struggle
that
with
way,
it.
anyways?
You can't. Like it's
Why
just
would you want to live in a world where two guys win?
there's no mountaintop at that point.
No,
Like
it's not.
and it takes away all the the comeback stories. Who knows, like later down the road, like whether the Pacers can come back, make a run. Like honestly, we already know, like when Tyrese Halliburton come back, like they're gonna have t-shirts made for this guy. Like they're gonna go all out for his return. Like I know that for a fact because I remember when they were did the same thing with PG when he came back from his broken leg.
I think
Like
we need one more piece. We need one more piece.
I don't know who that piece would be though.
We gotta keep Siakam. We gotta keep Tyrese, and we gotta keep Nimhart. Everybody else, find one more piece.
It's I don't know. My opinion, Aaron Neesmith is movable. He's a foul problem. He fouls way
Yeah,
too much.
bro. When they said that was his third time fouling down in the finals,
That's crazy. Like,
looked
how do
at that,
you?
bro. I
You're
looked at
the
my
best
OG.
defender on the team, and you cannot foul out.
That you hack, bro. Like, how do you do that?
And some of
Like,
the fouls are dumb too. Like
and
some of them
he's
are
such
just
a good player.
undisciplined.
Like, I didn't even know he was like it. Just man, I didn't even realize. I'm like, bro, he fouled out that many times. Like, you know how he just bro, like, bro, you're playing too hard. Like,
Like
slow
remember when
down,
he
bro.
jumped? Remember when he like jumped on Caruso and like grabbed him in Game 7? That was the stupidest foul I've ever seen. Like I've never seen a
His
foul
last
like that.
foul, the foul that fouled him out.
That was a
Yes, bro.
terrible foul.
And that's just like, bro, you moving way too fast. Like, he
Just think
looked like
about
a
it.
he looked like a football player trying to play basketball. Like,
Yeah, I
he
kind
looked
of
like he
did.
didn't know how to hoop in that situation, which was bad for him because he's a really good basketball player, bro. He looked OD out of control. It was
Yeah,
like,
that was weird. I didn't like that.
what are you doing, bro? And then I think we can keep Matherin too, but
How are
he
you
got
guys gonna
to.
pay him though? You guys gotta pay him money.
Bro, we should tell him we'll pay you when you add another dimension to your game. Right now, you're either shooting threes or trying to finish through people. We need you to add a floater and a mid-range game, and then we'll pay you. Because right now, bro, it's like eh, they found a way to. eh, They didn't shut him down. He's not even in a position on the Pacers to be shut down, right? He's just like a filling guy we tell to go get quick points and defend. But he's got to add another dimension to his game, bro. So like he shouldn't be worried about money right now.
I
No,
I don't
stop
know
worrying
what.
about
Yeah, I
no,
don't
no,
know.
no. The only guy that should be worried about money is TJ, Nimhart.
But all those guys got paid already, so I think they're fine. So like
Right.
I think they should be good. Like I feel like and Matherin's like he just got in the league. Like I mean he's still trying to pave his way and I think he's a great player. I think he's got a lot of
I'm saying though,
potential.
if there was anybody that was in a position to worry about money, meaning asking for more money, anything, like it's them guys.
Yeah, it's not
It's
him.
it's it's not him, bro.
Yeah, and I don't know. And he was inconsistent this series. I mean, he had that great game. What was it? Game 3? He went crazy off the bench. I think he had the most bench points
Yeah,
since
game
Jason
three.
Terry.
Yep.
And then after that, I mean, I didn't really see much of him after that. I mean, he kind of just disappeared offensively, but defensively, he's a freak athlete. But offensively, you need that consistency. You got to show up more. You got to be able to. He's got to be able to show later down the road if he really wants to hit his potential that okay, I can go out and average 20 a game,
Hmm.
like just like that. Like
Right.
he's got to make scoring easier for himself because I feel
Right.
like he's like you said, yeah, he needs that mid range. Like if he had that mid range, man, I mean, he could have fadeaways in that area all day long. I mean, he's bigger than a lot
Oh,
of
he averaged
guards.
20 something a game.
Like he's
He had a
6'6". He's 6'6", 6'7". I mean, he's a tall dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big like. I remember when I was at Arizona. I actually played pickup with him in Tubelis, and I mean the quickness, the athleticism. I've seen it since then.
Yeah.
But and then seeing him now, it's just like, I mean, he's got so much potential. He
Yes.
could really be one of the best players in the league if he wanted to. He's got all the
Uh,
tools. Like
yeah,
later down the road, he
I could,
could.
yeah, he could be like a Jalen Brown. Like that'll be like his game, I feel like.
Yeah. I think he's a good player. I like what he's got, but you got to pay him at some point. That's the problem. I just that like you mentioned it earlier. I just don't know if they're gonna be able to keep this team together for so.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know.
no, we ain't worried about paying him right now. We can get some money from him. I mean, we can get some trade value from him.
That could
But
work.
if that's the
Someone
type of
wants
time he's
him.
doing, right?
Yeah, I don't know. The off season is very murky now because
Mhm.
because no one was expecting because Halliburton getting hurt kind of just changed everything. It just put everything on hold, and it's like, okay, like if Halliburton's healthy next year, I think the Pacers are the favorites in the East. It's not even a question. And then now it's like kind of it's just changed the whole trajectory of the league. Just that one moment, and yeah, I just hate it for him, and it just I do love this though. I know he's in the locker room watching the game, but he's on crutches, making sure to tell every one of his teammates, like, just be there for them. Like he's there giving every single person in that organization a high five. And he doesn't, he could have been in there in the back pouting and complaining about how he didn't, you know, get to play the full game or whatever. But I mean, I just like how he was able to do that because that's a good teammate. I mean, that's a
Yeah,
really good teammate.
that's Indiana, bro. That's what they're about. That's the culture we have, bro.
And even Shea like got interviewed last night. He was like, that was just sad, man. Like even for the opposing side to feel that way about it, it's like, man, that's
Yeah, because it's like you want to win, beating a team at their best.
yeah. You don't want to.
A
That's why it
competitor.
kind of feels like the Thunder. They got a championship, but it's like he didn't really beat the Pacers. It's just tough.
I like that take, bro. Like I said, I like that take. I'm not agreeing with that, but hey, I could push it for you for Indiana fans.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll give
Well,
us something to talk about all summer until the
I'm
next
sorry
season.
you guys didn't get a parade because I'm sure the whole state would have showed up for that parade.
Man, it would have. I don't even want to get into the details of how
It would have been
crazy that
nuts.
would have
It would have
been.
been such a fun. I was thinking about flying to Indiana for that because I
You
just
would have had to. You would have had to. It would have been.
that would have been the biggest parade. Like, I mean, that could have been the biggest. Just I hate it. I'll let you go on that
No.
though. Um, but I appreciate you hopping on the pod, man. It's always a
Thanks for
pleasure
having me,
talking
bro.
hoops.
Always, always, dog. Always.
Yeah, we always get into some interesting heated conversations. This is what the Take podcast is about. This is
Yep.
why we need these kind of debates because it's just hot take central. Like
I'll
that's what
take.
this podcast is about. That's why I created this thing 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I started it. So
No doubt.
former Indiana All-Star, played 6 years, 5 years. Jeez, I keep doing that. You're getting me. This is gonna be a running joke now. This is gonna be it. Played at Boston University and Ball State, and then you're playing. You announced you're playing in Uruguay, so or that's what you said last
Hungry.
podcast, right?
Hungry.
Oh,
Yup.
Hungary. Sorry, why did I
Hungry.
think?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what you end up doing with that and
Yeah.
season and
Appreciate that.
stuff like that. We'll definitely have to have you on to talk about that, just being overseas and playing a different game and stuff like that.
For
But
sure.
I appreciate you hopping on. This has been
Yes,
Ethan
sir.
Britton Watts. Go check him out. Go give him a follow on Instagram. But I'm Jackson Burleson. This has been another episode of The Take. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment what you guys think of our takes, and also just hit the notification bell. We're going to be posting more content about the draft later on this week. So make sure to stay tuned for that. But I'm Jackson Burleson. This is Ethan Britton Watts. Stay tuned for more episodes in the future. Peace.
Yeah.
Talk to me, baby. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me nice. I'm from another world, baby, yeah. Broadway paradise. They think I'm way too cold, cause I put my